Hello students, in this lecture we will discuss how to make the decisions in C programming. So when we discussed about programming for problem solving and we did some problem solving exercises, we discussed that one of the problems are related to decision making. Okay, so what happens there, you go with the flow or step by step, but suddenly you come to a condition where you have to make a decision. Okay, generally these decisions are in the form of true or false, or sometimes there are various options available with us, so that we have to make the decision. Okay, so now we will learn that how to make the decisions using C programming statements. Okay, so this is the flow of this particular lecture, how it is going to work. First we will see what is the concept of decision making, then we will see if construct. If is a keyword that is available in C programming, and we will see how to choose the right decision with the help of if keyword. Okay, now then we have if else. Else is another keyword which is used for the other option. Okay, the first if is for true option and else is for false option. We will see it shortly. If else if, then we have, if we have multiple options, then we use this. And we also have nested if, that is if inside if. We will see some examples for that also. Then cascading of if, where different ifs are used. They both, all of them are different from each other. Then we have switch case. This is for multiple options if are there are available, instead of only true or false. If you have multiple options, then we use switch case. Okay, then we have a special operator that I told you in the operators, that is called conditional operators. Okay, where we left this operator, we did not elaborated the use of conditional operator. We will do it here because it is used for decision making. Okay, so this is a ternary operator. So concept of decision making, if we try to understand, if you remember the flow charts, we put a diamond over there where is some condition is there, or we have options of two different paths. Okay, so this becomes a logical condition is put inside the diamond box. Okay, so this particular diamond box is the place where we do the decision making. Okay, depending upon this logical condition, whatever is the logical condition, the answer can be true or false for this logical condition. If the answer is true, we choose decision 1, and if the answer is false, we choose decision 2. Okay, I explained you with the help of example of whether we should go to watch movie, yes or no. Okay, so there are various logical reasons behind whether we should go movie or not, like whether the cast is as per our otherwise, if the weather is okay, if the conveyance is available, cinema hall is nearby, or cinema hall is available, show timing is available. So there are various things that help us to make a decision. Okay, so in C programming, how to write this thing. Okay, so the first program that we see, we will directly do the programs so that you are able to write the if construct. The problem that we are taking firstly is the print the input number if it is even. Okay, please listen to the statement carefully, that print the input number if it is even. Okay, so you have to print the input number only if it is even. Okay, so how we are going to do this, we will create a new file. Okay, we will save it, print even. Okay, so I am writing this as print even.c. Fine, the basic things, basic syntaxes of the remaining program is same. So this is include and this is void main. Okay, both of them are same. Then we have uh, our objective is print the input number if it is even. Okay, so we will take a input number, suppose n. Okay, and we will take its input. So how you do the inputting? Percent d comma and n. Okay, so this is the input number. Now after inputting it, the statement says print it only if it is even. Okay, so first we have to make a decision whether this number n which has been input is even or not. So as soon as you find any condition or any place where you have to make decision, you put this keyword if. Okay, so what is the syntax of if and opening and closing braces. So this is the syntax of a raw if, where you write this condition. This is the place where you write the condition. Which condition? The condition whatever is written in the diamond. Okay, whatever is written in the diamond. Okay, so what is the condition over here required? That number is even. Okay, so do we know when the number is even? When the number is divided by 2 and the remainder is 0. Okay, now see here, here are two new things for available for you. First, this is the modulus operator. And what does the modulus operator gives you? Modulus operator always gives us the remainder of the division. Okay, so n divided by 2, and if the remainder is 0. Okay, now some of you may think that why we have not written like this. Okay, because this is assignment operator, we don't want to assign this 0 to the left side. Okay, but we are using comparison operator instead, because we want to compare whether the result of this modulus operator is equal to 0 or not. Okay, so this comes as a question mark. Okay, and there are, this is a question, this is a question, and with possible answers are true or false. Okay, so if answer is true, right now we are only concerned with the true, because if it is even, then we have to print the number. Printf backslash n, the number percent d is even. Okay, and what is percent d here? N, right? So the number percent d is even. When it will run, this percent d will be replaced by the value of n. Okay, so this is our program to print whether the input number, if it is given, and if it is even. Okay, now let us run it. Okay, so if I input a number that is 9, so nothing is printed. Okay, the number is not printed. Okay, I will run it again. So if I input 16, so it gets printed, the number 16 is even. Okay, so this is our. So in this way we have seen how to print a true part of any if condition. Okay, right now from this flow chart we have only printed this particular decision. Okay, there is only one decision that was required, only the true part was required. Okay, now let us do the next problem, that is determine whether a number is even or odd. So here we have to print both the things, if it is even or if it is odd. So we put else. Okay, else is another keyword which is used to deal the false part of this particular condition. So whenever this condition is true, that is this comparison is true, then it goes to this particular part, and if this comparison is false, then it goes to the this part. Okay, so now let us have printf. So what will happen here, if the condition is false, it means the modulus of any number, so modulus of any number with 2 is not equal to 0. It means it is not fully divisible by 2. So this simply means that the number is odd. The number %d is odd. Okay, so it is quite simple to understand. Okay, so here we will write the number %d is odd. Now if you remember that previously when we ran this program, then when we gave input 9, so it was not printing anything because we didn't deal with the false condition of this particular expression. Now if I give input as 9, simply see that what is the answer. The number 9 is odd. Okay, the number 9 is odd. Okay, so it is simply giving you whether the number is even or odd, so it will print the number in both the condition, both the decisions. Okay, so in this particular program what we learned how to write if, what is the syntax of if, and how to deal with the else condition also with if else. Okay, so this is if else construct. So the second point is if else construct, and we have seen this if else construct. Okay, we will make some more programs so that you can understand better. Okay, let us take a new file, and what we want, program to find greater between two numbers. Okay, so we have to take two numbers as input, and we will try to find out which is uh, the greater number. Okay, so I will write the file greater number dot c. Okay, now let us make some basic program. Void main. Okay, so this is the thing that we have to write. Now since greater number between two we have to do, so we will take two numbers a and b. Okay, and how to give input between them. Instead of input I can give here the as part of initialization also. Okay, b equals to 9, right? Now I have to compare between them, so again we will use some comparison operator. So if a is greater than b, okay, if a is greater than b, it means f, what does it mean, that % d is greater than %d. Now who is first %d? A, and the second %d is b, because a in this particular, if this condition becomes true, okay, what does it mean? If this condition becomes true, it means a is greater than b. So this would be a and this would be b. Okay, what will happen if this does not happens? If this does not happen, it means again % d is greater than % d, but b is greater than a. Okay, I will put semicolon in the end. Okay, one thing you have to remember, if line and else line, they does not have semicolon because these are not single statement. The complete if construct, these are called constructs. Okay, so this is if construct, this is else construct. Okay, and one more thing to remember, that if there is only a single line after if or single line after else, then these braces are not required. Okay, so you can write it directly like that also, because there is only single one line after if and only one line after else, so you don't require the braces. But if there are multiple lines in the if true part, or if there are multiple lines in false part, then you have to put the braces. Okay, Fine. So you can also see that braces are not part of syntax, but these parentheses are part of syntax. You have to put it. Okay, you can leave them empty. Okay, but you cannot put them, you cannot remove them. Okay, so let us run this program. So what should be the answer according to you? uh, 9 is greater than 6. 9 is greater than 6. Yeah. So 9 is greater than 6. So where it got printed from? So can you predict which condition ran? A is greater than B. A value is 6 and B value is 9. So whether this condition true or false? This condition is false, because 6 is, it means 6 is greater than 9. So this is not true, so it means it is false. So this statement is not going to run, but this statement is going to run. Okay, so what will happen? The first percent d would be E and the second percent d would be A. So this will become 9 and this will become 6. Okay, so 9 is greater than 6. So that is what we are getting in the output. 9 is greater than 6. Fine. So in this way you can find greater between two numbers. Okay, now let us see more the simple if else. Now merging of condition using logical operators. Okay, so can we do merging of condition? Because we have seen the decision based on, till now we have seen this based on single condition, that whether is A is greater than B, or the before program that we do is simply whether the modulus is equal to 0. But the decisions can be complex. Okay, so in those decisions we require multiple conditions to be evaluated before going to any decision. Okay, so vowel or not. Fine. Vowel or not, vowel or not. Okay, so whether a character is vowel or not. Okay, so instead of this we require character ch, and let us initialize the character as a. Fine. We will do it in firstly on small lowercase only. Okay, we are assuming that the input is in lowercase only. Now see properly that how to write this kind of condition. Now what are vowels? They are a, e, I, o, u. Okay, so if I have to compare, this ch value of this ch is to be compared whether this ch is equal to a. Okay, now see this, whether ch is equal to b. Okay, sorry, e, whether ch is equal to a, e, I. Okay, ch is equals to o, and ch is equals to u. Okay, so there will be these 5 vowels. Okay, if ch is any of them, any one of them, if ch is equal to any of them, so what is the merging condition? Merging condition, that we merging logical operator will be, it would be or operator. Okay, why or operator? Because the any one of these conditions if true, so it means the character value is a vowel. Okay, so in this way we merge these conditions. This is our condition number 1, this is our condition number 2, condition number 3, condition number 4, and condition number 5. Okay, now evaluation takes place from left to right. If this left condition is true, then first condition is true, then it does not check the other condition. Why? Because only one of them is required to be true. Fine. And if this is false, then it checks this, then it checks this, until all of them are false. If all of them are false, then it goes to else. Okay, and inside else what we want to printf, want to printf that percent %c is not a vowel. Fine. And similarly here we want to print is here we want to print this percent %c is a vowel. Okay, fine. So although these braces are not required, so we can remove them. Now let us see whether this program gives you the right answer or not. So if I run it, what should be the answer? A is a vowel, because A is a vowel, so we are getting it. Now let us see whether it gives G as a vowel or not. So for G is not a vowel, okay, because G is not, this condition was evaluated for G, this was evaluated, this was evaluated, this was, all of them are evaluated, but any of them was not true, so it is not going to print this, it is going to in the false part, and the false part says that G is not a vowel. Okay, now see this, whether this program is complete or not. Okay, for lowercase it is complete. If I put by chance capital A, okay, capital A is a vowel, but this is going to give you the answer that A is not a vowel. Okay, so the answer is looking is wrong. Okay, so you have written the correct logic, but the answer is wrong. Why? Because we have to, in C programming, the programming is a thing where you have to deal with every condition. Okay, like the earlier we had assumption that only lowercase input would be there, but if this assumption cannot be made, then you have to deal with every condition. Now what will be the other conditions if these are capital also? A capital ones we can also deal. So if we write capital ones also, when the value of A is, sorry, ch is A, then it gives A is a vowel. Okay, so it is necessary that you write this if condition very properly, so you can get the right answer. Okay, so this is one of the method to write whether vowel or not. Okay, uh, fine. Okay, now let us see whether what are the next. Now we are seeing the cascading of if else construct, means repeatedly writing the if else. Okay, now find the gross salary of employee after adding suitable increment. Okay, so we have a condition where the employee gets some increment, and the increment is based on some condition. So let us write some conditions. What are the basis of increment? First let me save this file. So uh, salary increment, increment.c, I can take it like this. Okay, now I can take multi-line comment also. So what are the conditions I want to say? So increment, if suppose find the gross salary. Okay, so the gross salary would be the sum of salary plus the increment. Okay, gross salary would be the salary plus increment. Okay, now the increment can be based on some things. Let us assume that increment is based on sale. So what we are assuming, increment is based on sales. Okay, now what does it means? If sales are greater than 10, sales are greater than 10, so we will take input sales, and if sales is greater than 10, then increment is 10%, suppose. huh. And if sales is greater than 20, and less than 10, then increment is then sorry greater than 10 and less than 20. Sales is greater than 10 and less than 20. Okay. Hmm. Then increment is uh, suppose 20%. Else uh, uh, if sales is less than 10, then no increment, or if sales are greater than greater than 20, greater than 20, then if sales greater than 20, then increment is 30%. Okay, fine. So these are the conditions that we want to implement. Okay, so we will close the multi-line comment. Now let us make a program for it. Void main. Before that, let us include hash include stdio dot h. Then we will write okay. So first we require sales, integer sales, fine, and printf, and we want to enter the sales, okay, made by the employee. Okay, we will scanf it in %d and uh, and sales. Okay, so we take input in the sales. Okay, then we have increment. Increment, so this is also as per this, this is also integer increment. Then we have since this will be in percentage of the salary, so we will take float as salary, and salary as a float, and gross salary as a float. Okay, so s is salary and gross salary. Okay, so salary and gross salary, fine. So in this way, float, we have taken them float. Why float? Because salaries can be in the percentage, and percentage, because of percentage they can be in the float. Okay, now we have to input the current salary also. Printf, enter the current salary and sales. So two things if we have taken, so percent f, first would be percent f, that is salary, so this, and the second is sales. Okay, in this way we will take both input, and don't put here space. Okay, now this, now once we have the sales with us, we have to check what is the sales value. Whether the sales value comes in this range, then increment would be 10. Then if it comes in this, if it comes in this, so we have to check it. Okay, but do you think only one of the condition among them would be true? Okay, when we have this kind of place where only one of the condition from the available conditions would be true, then we use if else if ladder. Okay, now see this, if salary, okay, if sales is suppose what is the smallest range, if sales is uh, less than 10, let us do it like this. If sales is less than 10, what does it mean? Then INCR is equals to 0. Okay, fine, INCR is equals to 0. Now what does else mean? Else means sales is greater than 10. Okay, fine. Else means greater than 10, but greater than 10 also has some conditions. What if it is greater than 10, then and less than 20, and less than and less than 20? Okay, so this is the condition that another inside a full range where the sales is less than 10 and the other range is greater than 10, but in greater than 10 we have full range, we have different ranges. Okay, between 10 to 20, between 20 to between 10 to 20, sorry, these both became same. Then we can take is 20 to 30 and then greater than 30. Okay, so this can be there. So sales is between 10 to 20, this would be the condition. If sales is between 20 to 30, this is the condition. Okay, and if sales is greater than 30, this is the condition. Okay, so now we want to divide this particular whole range into some other range. So what we do, inside else we will put another if. So in else if we will deal with the remaining conditions, that is, if sales is less than 10, it means it is going to increment 0. But what if sales is greater than 10 or less than or equal to 10? Suppose we take this in this particular condition. So if sales is greater than 10 and sales is less than equals to 20. Okay, now here we also want a connector between them, so what can be the connector? Here the connector would be logical AND. Why logical AND? Because we want that this condition should be true. If this is true, means sales is greater than 10, it means 11, starting from 11, and sales are less than 20. Okay, so this means 11 to 20. So if sales is greater than 10, 11 to 20, and here it is coming as 0 to 10. Okay, so if 0 to 10, it will come in this particular range. If it is in between 11 to 20, it will come in this range. Okay, now since we have single line statement, so let us don't write the braces. So here the increment is equals to 10 percentage. Okay, now uh, again we have condition that if so if it is in not in this range, then again the range is 21 to 100. Okay, this range is 21 to 100, but we have another range between 21 to 100, which is this. Okay, so this is 21 to 30. We have to again separate a range, so where sales is greater than 20 and sales is less than equals to 30. Okay, so this range will be 21 to 30. For 21 to 30, in this case increment is equals to 20. Fine, increment is equals to 20. And last one is, if it is greater than 30, so else everything. So if it is greater than 30, then increment is equals to 30. Okay, so if last one is written as else, because there is no sub condition inside the inside this range. Okay, so above 30 it is 31, it is 31 to 100, anything 31 to any number would be increment equals to 30%. Fine, so if we have calculated this, now we calculate gross salary. And gross salary, we know that GS is equals to S plus S into S plus S into INCR divided by 100. Okay, now INCR is integer and it would be fine. So INCR divided by 100 and S is in floating point, so this will balance this particular expression, fine, and it would be added into S and the gross salary would be, now we can print the gross salary. So uh, gross salary is percent F for salary percent F and increment percent D. Okay, so what is the order? First is GS, second is S, and third is INCR. Okay, now let us see if there is an error. No, there is no error. Let us run it. So enter the salary and sales. Suppose salary is 100, okay, and sales is uh, suppose 20. Okay, so for 20 their gross salary is 110, increment is 10. So if it is between 10 to 20, so 20 is coming is in this range, so increment would be 10%. So this 10% is calculated over here and it is added to the salary. This is salary and this is increment. Okay, and then gross salary is calculated. So you can see the program is working fine. Okay, now if the sales is greater than 30, it means 45. So what would be the answer? 40, sorry, 45 is the salary and 45 is the sale. Okay, so you can see that increment chosen is 30%. Okay, so this is the program for estimation of gross salary, where we made the decision about the increment based on the sales made by the employee. Okay, so this is the program for this particular cascading of if else construct. So this is called cascading, if else if, and last one is else. Okay, so whatever is not, so this, what is the uniqueness about this? That only one of these conditions would be true, there only you will use this else if else if cascading. Okay, so we will see further in the upcoming video. Till then, take care.